A very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is 30th July 2023, Sunday. We will continue our Sunday class sharing from this book, Understanding the Heart and the Mind. Yeah? We are at page 25. So as usual, let us compose our mind, develop the faith, Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence our simple puja. Nam mô本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะบุตตังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาดาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาดทานะเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, let's pay respect Triple Gem. Badang Pujemi. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. Just relax body and mind and have some form of attention. Then we will continue with our page 6 chanting. Page 6 is Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the Devas or deities come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sage. which is heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakkamokkadang Dhamma Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Dhamma Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti Peso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijajarana Sampanno Sugato Lokavido Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandetiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pachyatang Veditabu Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Saukasangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakeneyo Anjali Karaneyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so now you can be seated and we'll continue from where we stopped. Turn to page 25. Today's sharing is not easy to understand. This refers to the previous Sunday. Because the title of the book is Understanding the Heart and the Mind. So my advice is you have to go back and slowly reflect and contemplate on what we have shared to develop this second turning wisdom, which we call Chintamaya Panya. But because of causes and conditions, and this teaching wants to come out, that is how it can happen. There is no other book that writes about this subject as yet, as far as I know. I've hardly heard anybody explaining any of these too. So this understanding that I share with you all is not from any other source. This is from my nature that has developed it in the past. That's the reason why I can explain all this to you. During the early years, if I were to ask Sorry, if I were to speak to you this way, you may not understand. You may run away because you may think and comment as follows. Where got such Dhamma? Because they were not written in any scripture or books, and you have not heard about it before. Then I ask, how many of you have heard this before? Hardly anyone, right? Most of you still cannot understand, especially traditional Buddhists and cultivators who don't have an open mind because they are so conditioned. So this teaching is very rare and it's a true gem, and today's sharing is very complete. It not only covers the essential Dhamma and the Dhamma for true practitioner, but it also covers the higher teachings of the Bodhisattva way concerning the gateway, the conscience, and our true nature. It also integrates into the full understanding of life. So all these are very complete. Do you see all of today's Dhamma sharing can be written on this one whiteboard? At that time I think I must have drawn something. Since you have a brain which is so much bigger in its capacity to understand things, so understanding the above is not so difficult, right? Is it difficult? It is not. But to put it into practice, to make it a living reality, that one takes time. Do you understand? To understand the first phase of Dhamma means pariyatti, the learning of the teachings, is very important. I think by now quite a number of you can figure this out already. More or less at least 60% of you already have this pariyatti, understanding, the learning of the teaching. But to really comprehend it and put it into practice, cultivate and develop this understanding to live life or live it and make it a living reality, which is the second phase of Dhamma Patipatti, is not so easy. If you can do it, then you get to enjoy the third phase of Dhamma, which is Pativeda. Pativeda is the friction of your hard work. When you awaken, you get to live the third phase of Dhamma, the life of an Arya, an enlightened being, as stated in the Heart Sutta short notes text under the appendix section on Pariyatti, Patipatti, and Pativeda. This chart summarizes everything. It's a very good, very complete, and very beautiful chart. You can go back and read it yourself. It's all linked. Do you all have any more questions? Then somebody reminded us, I think, yes, we better rejoice. That's why they rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Then I say, oh, it's still so early. It's as if time has been slowed down. I've covered so much and yet it's still so early. We still have 30 minutes. Then we share other things. Padmasuri just came back from a staff trip to Xinjiang, the northern Silk Road of China. The temperature there was 60 degrees Celsius at this flaming mountain, Huoyan San. Yes, double our temperature here, which is only about 30 degrees Celsius. It's also very common in Dubai or Middle East to have 40 degrees Celsius temperature in the afternoon. And I ask any question, you may ask while I have a drink. Beresuyan, where did you get the diagram you forward to me? Oh, someone forwarded it to you. I believe that person also cannot really understand. But at least he knows it's not easy to follow the heart. He finds it so difficult to always follow the heart. because the heart has nothing special, nothing cunning, nothing to benefit him. Do you understand? You follow the thought, it has a lot of ideas. And ideas are the one that drives the human craving. So this one is very interesting. Because when we follow the heart, means we follow the conscience, we follow the understanding part, we follow that nature. But most people, they can't really develop the understanding to follow the heart. They are more, there is a tendency towards following the brain, or what we call the mundane mind, the thinking mind, which is egoic. So this thought, when they arise, they give rise to ideas. And you know what are ideas? Tell you all the things that are not according to reality. I should have done it like that, I shouldn't have done it like that. Or I should have ignored him. Why should I treat him so nicely? So all this is what the views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, or thought process, ideas are. So if you follow the thinking mind, the heartless, the heedless thinking mind, it has a lot of ideas, and ideas are the one that drive the human cravings. Then we move on. 3.3.6. What makes the world alive and merry? What makes the world goes round? Please do not answer me that is gravity, because I'm referring to the real reason. They used to say this: love makes the world lively. Have you heard of this? Is this true? But this word love also means craving. And this type of love is not universal love. If love is craving, passion and attachment, then it can be said love makes the world lively. When you have craving and attachment, your thought will develop the desire to have, to own and to possess. That is how you can have strong will power to plot, to scheme, to deceive, to cheat. And it may go all the way, by hook or by crook, to get what you want or what you crave for or desire for. Why by hook or by crook? Tell me, do you know? I know crook means crooked people. But after you have the Dhamma, you will come to realize that some of the things that ordinary worldly people likes to do, you cannot do them anymore. People will then look at you as if you are very weird, because you are not greedy, you are not violent, and you don't want to take advantage of people. You do not do deceiving and selfish things that worldly people do. People can be very excited and crazy, go for all the hot stuff, celebrate, or celebration and so on, etc. But you are different. I mean, you can be part of existence, part of life, but your insight is so different. You will no longer be so excitable because there is clarity, there is awareness, and there is heedfulness, and the wisdom to enable you to understand all these are not real, not what you think. So when you have all this understanding, your mind is different, your brain is different, and you are more sensitive or very sensitive. You can feel and understand many things. Then you realize that living beings are really living beings. Most of them are deluded, and there is nothing to be pitiful about. Do you understand? Because they are deluded, they are such, and that is the reason why they will do foolish things. I used to say, people are just the way they are. Foolish people do foolish things. Deluded people do deluded things. Crazy people do crazy things, and wonderful people do wonderful things. If you have the understanding, you become a blessing to all. You are so different, so beautiful, and you are always at peace. You will always have this beautiful mind and beautiful understanding. Then all the vocabulary with negative connotation are no longer in your dictionary. If I am not gone through life, I will not understand what fear is, what anxiety is, what sorrow and lamentations are. But because I went through life and saw how people suffer when I was young, I saw a lot of suffering. That does not mean I suffer because, I suffered before. No. Because this life I hardly have any suffering. When I was young, I can sense I was different. I contemplated deep into life. I had this conscience ever since I was young, and I cannot do certain things. I've told you all before. You ask me to kill something, there is no way I can violate the precept. But mosquito, at that time, I do kill before I know the Dhamma. Yeah, at that time, I do not understand. But when my mother asked me to hold the live chicken for her to slaughter, I cannot do it. I just released it and I was scolded. And on one occasion, she trapped a mouse and asked me to kill it and dispose it off. I just could not do it. I tried. I thought by putting it in the pond, in a pond of water, it would drown. At first, I saw the cage went down. I thought it's already dead. But after a while, it was still alive. That is how I had my sinus later on, because of the mouse suffocation. When I was young, I always get to pay back my karma very fast. So a lot of things that we do through ignorance, will come back to us because of karma. Later on, as I developed the understanding, I came to realize I can never do all this anymore. Before you connect, you can still, like any normal human being, make mistakes. But because of your special karmic and spiritual nature, your vows and your understanding, they will prepare you when you come. Your karmic nature prepares you because you are different. When my nature comes, I can sense all this when I was young, and I knew I was not normal. But I can't tell why I am not normal, because at that time I was still very young, and all sorts of strange things happened to me. I knew there must be something behind. Otherwise, all this cannot happen. Then later, when I grew up, I developed the condition to receive all this understanding. I saw many things unfolding very naturally, as if it was meant to be. Then later on, when this Monday mind collapses during the year 1989, everything becomes clear. That is why it is not what you think. And this is not documented anyway. The nature's law, the law of karma, and all these happenings, you cannot understand unless you have that type of cultivation and that type of nature. When you come, you can see them arising. You can see them happening, all these strange things unfolding. And you can see them clearly as if everything in nature is meant to be. Then this understanding and wisdom will keep on evolving while you start to inherit from the spiritual nature all this understanding. The most important understanding is this spiritual nature is different from the karmic nature. In the sense that before you connect, you cannot inherit anything from it. You have to connect to it first. The moment you connect, you will progress very fast. Then the understanding keep on unfolding and you will reach the previous cultivation level very fast. A lot of things you do, sorry, I read again. A lot of things you do not have to go through again. It's as if the transformation and understanding just pass by or breeze through very fast. This one is very true. When you have developed all this cultivation before in the past, when you come as one of these great being cultivator, it's like you can breeze through all this Dhamma understanding very fast. Then there are these nature's internal movement at the heart area, and a lot of other things will also happen. Especially after you have realized your true mind and touched your true nature, your brain will also transform to access your gateway to your true nature. You have to take the Bodhisattva vows and walk the Bodhisattva way, otherwise you cannot do it. The sainthood way is so much easier, but it's not so complete or comprehensive. The sainthood way is pretty easy. When you use this word, it is still very elementary. Certain people do not like it. Do you understand? The Bodhisattva way is very comprehensive. It's a very comprehensive way, and it has much more things. It's just like the Buddha's analogy of the handful of leaves as compared to the whole forest leaf. For the sainthood way, what you need is just a handful of leaves to awaken, which is very true. You only need to cultivate the Four Noble Truths and its three turning, nothing else. But to go the full way, to complete the 10 perfection is not easy, especially the perfection of wisdom, where you have to penetrate all Dhamma and develop the perfection of all wisdom. Do you have any other question? Why is it today's time like never move? How come? I have covered so much, and yet when I look at the clock just now, it was still 10 minutes before 10. Now 5 minutes after 10. We still have 25 minutes before we end our class. Please let me know what else you all want me to share. If you have no question, then what shall we do? Sharing by Sister PG. Good evening, Brother Teo, Mrs. Teo, and all Kayamitas. I'd like to share something that happened to me today. We are always talking about causes and conditions. I have been mindful of this for quite a while. Whenever the negative aspect of mind or thought comes into the mind, I become extra careful. Today I had to attend a meeting in Puja industrial area at 4 p.m. I left the office at 3 and I key into my Waze the destination. But it cannot be set into place even after 10 minutes of trying. Then it's already 3:10 and I'm still sorry and I'm going to be late. I was aware that my mind has started to agitate. After that I said to myself, forget about the Waze. I must get to Puchong first. Then only I set my Waze to get to that place. So I set off. But as I was driving, I reminded myself not to let this situation set the condition for karmic negativity to come in, because several times I have seen how this thing happened before. So whenever you have a situation, please remember, don't get angry, don't panic, don't react. Otherwise, it will condition karmic negativity. Then she said, So I tell myself, be careful. When I was driving, I was very aware. As I was turning into the Duke Highway, I come to a place where it branches off between going to PJ and KL. I was on the slow lane. The lorry was ahead of me on the fast lane, and the car that was parked at the divider suddenly decided to sway into my lane. So the lorry horned and avoided the car, but at the same time it swayed into my path, so I horned like crazy too. Luckily I was aware of the car, so I hit the brake before the lorry swayed into me, and all of us were like freeze. And I quickly looked into the back mirror because I was afraid somebody behind would bang into me. I suddenly stopped. If I have been unaware, inattentive, I will not be able to brake in time. Then I replied, Ratius replied, if you do not have the mindfulness and understanding, you cannot do what you said. When you are mindful, the awareness, when you are mindful and aware, you are very different, and you can handle and avoid all this. Of course, karma is also very important. You take care of karma. Karma will take care of your life. It really protects you. Nothing protects us except virtue, your goodness, and your kindness. So this is something she learned, and she learned it pretty fast, where she always fetched me and we used to discuss Dhamma while traveling in her car. It is similar to Sister Chui's case. She always said she is grateful of the few extra Dhamma lessons given while traveling with me in a car to my Klang talk. There are a few Kayamita who join us in attending these Klang talks, and in between they learn a lot of very useful Dhamma. They learn very fast because ever since they understand the importance of the Buddha's teaching, their faith becomes different, and they really go all out to cultivate after seeing the benefits and rather positive changes happening to their lives. Their life becomes very different, personality-wise, character-wise, and understanding-wise. The way they live their life, everything has become so different. All the rites and rituals, superstition and wrong view, etc., all this slowly, one by one, they got rooted out. You not only root them out, you will never go back to that heedless way anymore. Just now before the meditation start, I said, when you have this understanding, you will have no more sensual desire, ill will. And ill will, because your reaction to sense experience, conditioned by your five mental hindrance, will not arise anymore. The reason being, after you have straightened your view, you understand that people are just the way they are, and the world is the world. So just let things be. Then whatever happens in life, just follow my earlier advice to maintain calm and to not panic. Do not become fearful, emotional, and reactive. Otherwise, you will get into trouble. Do you know why? When you create negative thought energy, this negative thought energy can condition negativity of karma to ripen, to arise. If you do not have this understanding, every time when things do not go your way, you will get angry and become agitated because of your wrong thought, which condition you to react. This is what PJ come to realize through her awareness. The meeting is in Puja at 4 p.m. and because of the traffic condition, she has barely enough time. Then the thought will say, 3:10 already, you are going to be late, and so forth. You must forget about the thought. Calm yourself down and do what you have to do. If setting the ways does not work, if you know the way, you just drive. After that, you make sure the address is correct. Then you key in. As you drive, the ways will change course and tell you or take you there. If you have a look for alternative route based on where you are. If you have to look for alternative route based on where you are, you can use Google Map. Google Map is more prone to problem. Waze is less problematic, and most of the time it takes you there. But sometimes Waze also has problem. The other day at Pauline's house, Dana, Sister Vivian lost her way. She could not find her house, and she said she used Waze. Did you know what happened? It was Jalan Selasa Lima, but she keyed in wrongly as Jalan Selesa 5. No wonder the Waze was confused. But luckily she knows Old Klang Road quite well, and she knows Pauline's house is somewhere nearby. Then she looked at the word Selesa on the roadside. Only then she realized she has keyed in the road name wrongly. So do not blame Waze. Check the address properly. She said, I saw Selesa 5, which means her house is just nearby. But she was lucky because she decided to use her intelligence and did not follow the ways. She said, if the road 5 is here, then road 7 must be nearby. It is either parallel or perpendicular. She finally managed to locate the house. That's why you have to be street smart, to use your common sense. You follow the ways and it is not taking you anywhere. Go back to your common sense, just like our calculator and handphone, which we are so used to or dependent on to remember our phone numbers. In the early days, we can remember our friend's phone number, our own phone number on our fingertips. No need to write it anywhere. But now, to call home also, we have to look at our handphone for the number, which means you become dependent on them. And many people, after having lost their handphone, they have to call up their classmates and friends because they do not have the backup record. Otherwise, unless they have saved them. So a lot of these things make you dependent. Sometimes you have to use your skillful means of common sense. But you have to fall back to something when things do not go your way. I like to go back to first principle every time I have a situation. I do not worry. Then I tell myself, it may be a blessing in disguise because I can learn from it. I will go back to first principle and I will use my common sense to understand it. Then you will finally get to resolve the problem. Or resolve whatever things you need to resolve amicably. Then you will laugh over it because sometimes it's just a small mistake that you have made. You think you would not make this type of mistake, but it does happen because certain things are not for you to say. It is for you to learn. The world is the world. Thing is just the way it is. And the possibilities are many. Later on, after your mundane mind collapse, it is even more difficult for you to deal with the situation. And it may be worse because you have to learn to use this new supramundane mind, which is very fine and very different. And this supramundane mind is as if there is no mind. and you hardly feel anything because it is so fine, as if there is no mind at all. It's totally different. That mind is so different from the mundane mind. To use the mundane mind to cultivate and to be mindful is so much easier. And that mundane mind can be trained very fast. But when that one collapses, there is nothing for you to train, nothing for you to do. That if you do not have the understanding, you may not understand how to manage those situations, and you may end up having problems again. That is why sometimes cultivators, after they have reached a certain stage of progress, if they keep on going back to the thought, then they get trapped there again. So far about the thoughts. The thought will tell you all sorts of nonsense. Sorry, I read again. So forget about the thoughts. The thoughts will tell you all sorts of nonsense because this one, the brain, cannot understand. That is why you must go back to your nature, go back to your heart. Silence everything, go in deep. That one, the true nature, understand. Only that nature can awaken, can see things as they are. Can you all understand? But your thoughts are also useful. If you know how to use them, the wisdom is there already. So if you do not have doubt, it can stabilize and become a part of you. Then you can express it, share it, and teach it. Then your thoughts become beautiful. With the Dhamma connected to the form and mind, thoughts become right thoughts, wonderful thoughts. Then everything is beautiful. So this aspect of the understanding is very important, and you will develop the understanding of it when you awaken. Initially, I only share a bit. You may recall my earlier sharing. During that time, I could not go into this topic so deeply and explain all this because you all are not ready, otherwise all of you will be yawning and sleeping. But now many of you have transformed, your consciousness are different. You all are capable of having this understanding because conditions are different now. Things arise, conditions arise, then the Dhamma manifests. So regarding PG sharing is very good. As you train your mind, as you go through life, you know how to apply the Dhamma in life. And when you apply them correctly, you can see the result. What she has just described, you cannot feel the impact of the danger she felt because there was no one there. I can tell you, if you are there, you will know how she felt. The lorry just swayed out and horned so loudly. She also has the horn, and everyone there froze. Do you think it's easy to handle such situation? You should thank your good karma, otherwise anything can happen. I came to realize those who have the Dhamma and the virtue, the Dhamma understanding or wisdom and the virtue will protect you, protect them. I believe most of you would have the understanding after you have understood the Dhamma and your life is so different now. It is as if nowadays you hardly have any problem at all. As if you are so blessed. I don't like to use the word luck because technically there is no such thing as luck. Everything concerning life is governed by the nature's law of karma. Moral causation. So this one, law of karma, is moral causation. Hence, there is such a thing as blessing and the good life, born of your good karmic inheritance. With our good cultivation, virtuous vow, merits and understanding, etc., we will get to live the good life. All this wholesomeness can protect us. It can also give rise to all the favorable conditions for us to have the ability to avoid all those severe karmic conditioning and friction. If you don't take care of karma, if you are heedless, you tend to get yourself entangled with life and you get yourself into a lot of troubles, situations, and problems, thereby becoming afflicted and miserable. This is for the individual to develop the cultivation and find out for themselves. Hopefully not long, most of you can also have the understanding and transform to become really different. When that time comes, your faith will become unshakable and you will become very different. Your faith in the Triple Gem become unshakable, especially the Buddha's teaching, which I shared the other day. Dhamma is the only free lunch given free. And yet most people do not cherish it because they think whatever that is free normally don't have quality where it is given free. But this is the only exception to a rule, for this is the only true gem given free. Now I remember it is Sister Payon, Ponchi's daughter, who did the draft outline short notes for this Dhamma sharing, right? I have sent it out earlier. Did you all receive it? Anyway, a copy of this rather important edited outline short note and the talks, audio and whiteboard link are all enclosed in Appendix 1 for your easy reference. Okay, let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so number 4, Appendix 1. Outline short notes for Brother Theo's 28 September 2018 Thursday class. Dhamma sharing, Dhamma talk. The audio link is as above. Then if you want to know the whiteboard link, you can click on it. Oh yeah, the typical Thursday class at Sweet Han's house. The old whiteboard 27/9/2018. Oh, 5 years ago, almost coming to 5 years. So as you all can see, these are all the important Dhamma that we always have. Okay, you read on the right, top, there, somewhere there, at the top. Acting according to, there I put there. The first one is memory is not acting at all. Then the second one is acting according to understanding or wisdom is true action. So that one is the very important understanding. So by now I believe most Kayamita will understood this. Acting according to memory is not acting at all. Your memory has a lot of psychological rubbish inside there. Whereas when you develop the Dhamma understanding, you will act according to Dhamma understanding or wisdom. And if you do that, that is true action. Means you act following the Dhamma way, which is following Noble Eightfold Path. Then virtue in red is the highest or best protection. So that one are all the important understanding. Then apamada, heedfulness, most important. The meaning is ever mindful. To cultivate the meditation as taught by the Buddha, which is mainly the Noble Eightfold Path. Then 4 important support for awareness-based meditation. So first is to relax. Then number 2 is maintain awareness. Awareness is also mindfulness or sati. So to be aware is the true mind, the silent mind, before the knowing. The moment you are without thought, you are already aware. So this is my understanding that I already shared with you even at that time. That's why the moment you are without thought, you are already aware, means the silent mind. Then the second support is also same as maintenance of awareness. So this awareness is the second support. Aware. Then after that, don't try to know. Where the knowing is the thought, so you cannot be aware. Then the third support is stabilize it. Means stabilize the awareness. Technically, it's 24 hours, even during your sleeping hours. But initially, it's only your waking hour. Then the last support is trust. That one seldom people do. Then I explain the heart and the mind. The mind is what the mundane mind is, the thought process. Then you have the silent mind, which is the true mind. Then the heart is where the sincerity is, the conscience is, and also the seat of consciousness, the emotion and all those things. So down there, mundane mind is dependent originating, then imply the thought process. Thought is respond to memory. So that memory is in the brain. The 5 physical senses, the 5 physical organs or the senses plus the brain, the 6 sense door, the 6 sense bases. Then the 3 things that sustain our life is, first, the physical body without problem. Then you have the consciousness trapped inside since birth until now. Then the third one is the karmic force or the life force from our karmic nature. You call it the supportive karma. Once that one stops, it also causes the mind to fail to send the karmic force, the life force, which means the supportive karma no more, the heartbeat stops. Once the heartbeat stops, the 3 conditions or things that sustain life, one of them is gone. Then the consciousness cannot stay in, it has to leave the body, and you call it dead. The doctor is even faster. When there's no heartbeat, they straight away will pronounce you medically dead. But they will continue to try to revive your heart pumping by using the instrument to shock your heart area. Then I also explain the physics experiment. For you to come to this existential world, you need a form of mind, a vehicle, and a tool. Then how you function as a human being. That's why I wrote up there the heart as an organ, the life force or pulse of life, karmic force, karmic energy, then the heartbeat, seat of consciousness. So this is what the heart is all about. So over our whiteboard here, I make it more clear and more systematic. You check the new whiteboard notes, Suyo focus there. So you can see very clearly. Here I draw the brain, then the heart. So the heart is in red. This is the awareness area that can develop the understanding of this. So you have to bring your attention or conscious mind and stay here, maintain awareness at the heart. You stay at the brain, this is hell. This is where thought process, wrong thought, views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, all here, accumulation of experiences. Then our heart has this few ability. It is also where the seat of consciousness is, where you can hear your heartbeat. This is where the life force is, the pulse of life is. There is also the place where the emotion arises. This is at the center of your heart. Whereas there is also one part of the heart that has the conscience. Then the seat of consciousness is at the place where the heartbeat is. This one is where our life force, we call it the karmic force, the supportive karma, it arises at the seat of consciousness and it pounds the heart, giving it the pulse of life, or the life force to sustain our ability to be conscious and living. Then on the left hand side, center is where the emotion is. On the left, there is a gateway to our nature. So this one is for you to locate the gateway to your true mind, your silent mind, the awareness nature within. So this one, you can only detect it when you don't have any thought. This one, the true mind arises when thought ceases, or thought cease. So this one is a better and more orderly explanation. Then at the forehead, we have the mind. We have two minds, mundane mind, which is basically thought, and they are respond to memory, where this one is the brain, the memory. Then from here, before you become enlightened, you will give rise to wrong thought that has the evil roots. So what are wrong thought? Thought that condition your fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and lamentation, etc. with the evil roots. So this is what Four Noble Truths are. And like I always say, it's only a thought. How come it has power over you to make human beings so miserable? So full of affliction, suffering, sorrow and lamentation, even to the extent of having suicidal thought, developing depressive mind state, depression, insomnia, cannot sleep and all these things. So all this can be understood when you develop the meditation, the awareness-based meditation, and observe clearly within your own form and mind to see how you function as a human being. And who are you? What are you? What is this five aggregate of form and mind all about? So all these are possible. Okay, so the whiteboard link we have gone through. So we mark our page here. Okay, page 39. So next Sunday, or the next class, we will start on the notes. What is heart and what is mind? So remember the first three support: relax, maintain awareness, and stabilize the awareness. Then after that, for those who are already skillful, develop the ability to be aware, then you can go to the heart area and develop the fourth support, which is trust. You just stay at the heart area, don't do anything, just let things be and relax deep into it. Then let the nature detect whatever that arises. It can be your heartbeat or any vibration that is there, or it can be completely silent, quiet. Sometimes there is tactile and all those things, but you relax into it. Then the true mind, the silent mind, the awareness nature will stabilize and become more and more clear. Then after that, not long, when you are patient enough, when the causes and conditions are there, then suddenly it will activate the gateway. When the gateway is being detected and activated, you will know. The form and mind will know, because the awareness nature surface. Then something will happen. Then the one that go through will understand. The movement of energy is very prominent, very obvious. So when it happens, you will know what it is. So I will let you find out yourself. For those who have gone through, very good. They know what is happening. They have described it before. So my nature rejoice with the ability to reach the fourth support. Then silence everything. Just trust that nature to do. No more interference from the thought. Let the energy move. Let that nature develop its own movement. So this internal movement is very unique, very special. That one will lead to internal transformation. Initially is, I remember the yin and yang energy for external, like melt through that gateway. The process you had to go through to understand. Then after that, a lot of things happen. Then the final byproduct of that melting of the yin-yang energy through the gateway is the pure energy. This pure energy is the one that move and activate whatever that need to activate from within. And this is the true nature's movement, which is very soothing, very beautiful, very different. Then ultimately you will come to know who you are, what you are, and how you function as a human being, and how a lot of the transformations by product is gaseous, which are very different, pure, clean. You can now slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Okay. So these are the mind states that we have developed. And these are beautiful meditative mind states. When you are aware, you are with your true mind, without thought. And there is also sati. Then because of your saddha, virya, sati, when you stabilize it, it becomes samadhi. Then this meditative state, which is the silent mind, awareness nature within, can help you understand, develop wisdom, insight into phenomena to awaken. So the final spiritual faculty is wisdom, or panya. So with that, the meditative state of sati, samadhi, and panya will always be there when you are aware. Then you can use it to meditate, to develop understanding of life, understanding of phenomena, understanding of who we are, what we are, and everything within the conditional. Meditation, reporting, followed by whatever question that you may have, Dhamma question. Then you can also discuss today's topic, understanding the heart and the mind, and how to develop all those further understanding of what this heart is all about, how it's related to our mind, our nature, our emotion, the seed of consciousness, the content of consciousness, which is the thought process, the mundane mind. Then also the life force. All this, we can develop understanding. Okay, then lastly, of course, we can also share based on what we have gone through. Anything that you have come to develop through the cultivation means Dhamma in daily life. All this we can share.
Good afternoon, Radio. We are still Korean or Kalimitas.
Yeah.
I want to share the day yeah, when I went to work in JB, I was in the airport.
Oh,
So
Sadhu, yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
you see, because that it was just a short trip to JB,
Yeah.
so I took a luggage, but the luggage bag was quite big for one night stay lah.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
You check
when
in or is it hand carry?
that's the thing. I was thinking whether I should hand carry or whether I should check in
Oh,
because I was alone lah. Actually, there was
oh,
six
okay.
of us. But
Yeah.
then I was made to understand that, all of us was different flight lah and a different airport also.
Oh, okay.
So when I went there, I was thinking if I'm alone, then if I go to the toilet, then it won't be so convenient lah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
But then there was another thought also, like a bit. Actually, I didn't feel like it was troubling me, but it was like playing in my mind, like
Yeah,
whether to check in.
lingering around.
Lingering, correct. And
Yeah,
then I was thinking, if I check in, then they may mishandle my luggage and
yeah,
they
yeah.
throw around and then damage my luggage.
Uh,
I don't know why, variety suddenly like I become so like maybe like intelligent like that lah. I
yeah,
mean, I was thinking of all this. And suddenly there was this like understanding that say, why you have such negative thoughts.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You will come to understand.
very funny variety.
Uh,
Then it says someone who say they will damage your luggage.
yeah,
Ah,
these
then
are not
after
reality, but your thought, your mundane mind will actually prompt you and come out with all these suggestions. That's why I call this our thought process that creates the idea for you to hold on to, cling on to, give meaning to. These are not reality. So the way we perceive things, the way we see things, the way we understand things, they can affect the human mind, the human emotion, the human psyche. So meditation is to be aware. That's why aware of every thought, every movement, every action, every reaction and stirring of mind, so that we understand clearly how all this process come about. Then we start to understand clearly the nature's law that governs life and existence, that how we function as a human being, how our thought process manifests, get like what we call condition into such mind state. Then we start to see this mind, which we call the thinking mind, the mundane mind, they are actually dependent originating condition arising causal phenomena. Then they are response from memory. Where these are your views, opinion, conditioning, habitual tendency, and all the thought process that has been going on for a long time. But because now you have developed more understanding and you are more aware, more capable of attention, you can start to develop the ability to see them, to understand them. Then, like you always describe, it's like that thought is prompting you, uh, telling you. Then, like you say, you behave like you're very intelligent, like you understand, right? So all this is the beginning of the cultivation's awareness, nature's ability to see and develop slow understanding. But later on, you will have more and more understanding through contemplative stability. So, contemplative stability of mindfulness will enable you to develop the second turning wisdom, which is constant reflection, contemplation, and inquiry into the Dhamma. Then through this, the understanding stabilize. Then suddenly you like become wise. Oh, this is what the Dhamma is all about. This is what Brother Theo shared with us. And then you realize you can link, you can connect, then you can apply it. Then later on you will come to know more and more of this understanding will arise from your heart area through the mindfulness or awareness. And this is what I call yoniso manasikara. When you have developed the stability of the contemplation wisdom, either born of second turning most of the time, or after the second turning, understanding stabilized, any first turning, when you listen again, last time you cannot catch it, now you catch it, then the understanding is there. Then it will start to stabilize. As it starts to stabilize, you become different. Then this will appear more and more often. It will prompt you, like all the wisdom that you learn through constant listening to the Dhamma, constant Dhamma investigation, contemplation, and application of Dhamma, all those things. Then you look back, you realize what the Avijja Sutta says is very true. With Dhamma friends, you have opportunity to hear the true Dhamma. Then when you hear the true Dhamma, it stand up to investigation, your faith develop. Then when your faith develop, it will drive you with the virya to actually uh, further cultivate so that your sati mindfulness stabilize. And then when your sati and mindfulness stabilize, you will have the ability to develop more understanding, see things as they are, awaken insight in the world. And all this will bring about the next, what they call Avijja Sutta's steps, which is mindfulness leading to wisdom, Yoniso Manasikara. So when this Yoniso Manasikara arrives, that is the beginning of the initial wisdom. I call it the initial wisdom because these are still not penetrative, but good enough. It will prompt you and let you understand. Then you start to like what you go through. You are not like before, heedless, get deluded, lost in thought, afflicted, creating all those wrong thoughts, arising all the unhappy mind state without you realizing it. But now you have more and more moment of understanding, more and more moment of awareness to help you develop all it. Then not long when your stability of wisdom and understanding develop, the Yoniso Manasikara will stabilize. Then you realize you don't react so much more like what you have gone through. You start to have more understanding and ability to accept things as they are, to accept the world as the world, people. And that process take a while. Then when you start to have that, you realize through awareness later on, hey, you don't react as before unnecessarily. You don't stir your mind, get excited, panic, worry. All this like starts to slowly disappear from your daily life, from your ability to arise the form and mind to live life. Then you realize you are more and more mindful, more and more aware, with more and more understanding, more and more compassionate, more and more loving. And you have more and more what they call understanding of the Dhamma to enable you to live life, to understand life, and to straighten your view, transform your character, your personality, and the way you look at things, the way you understand things, all different. The way you approach life, the Dhamma, relationship, everything starts to change. That is what Dhamma is, the power of wisdom born of Dhamma training, cultivation, especially the first and second turning. Then later on, it will lead to the third turning. Well, once your Yoniso Manasikara is there, you will have more and more moments of peace, silence, or space between thought. Then after that, you realize one day, not long, your daily mindfulness, your formal meditation, the moment you sit your mind becomes quiet very fast, tranquil, still. The awareness, nature stabilize. Then when you come out of it, the mind enters sati. Then throughout the day, you are like aware, mindful. During that time, step 5 will come about. Sati sampajana, that step. That one very powerful. Once you have sati sampajana, your wisdom keep on arising. You will progress very fast. Then from there, you will transform and at least become Arya, first and second stage of sainthood. Well, after that, your mindfulness becomes so stable, your initial wisdom, stability, your understanding become more and more stable. Then suddenly one day you realize you are incapable of negativity. Means your sense restraint is there already, your mindfulness and your understanding. You cannot violate the nature's law already. You cannot do things like before already. Then after that, as you continue with the development of the cultivation, step 6 will lead to step 7. Sense restraint means you can keep your precept very well, will lead to the 3 type of right conduct. The 3 type of right conduct will arise when you have the ability to have this noble eightfold path, right view to arise, a right thought, right speech, and right action. Of course, right action will include the right livelihood, the right way to live your life. Then during that time, even before that, the 4 right effort is like automatic, very easy to do. Then the way to meditate, the 3rd way and the 4th way, like you become very good at it, very skillful. You can just aware, like what Kok Lun and even Alicia, they all went through, be with it. Then see how all these mind state, they are dependent, originating, condition arising. When you don't do anything, it ceases. When you don't feed it with any more wrong thought, any deluded thought, or defilement, evil, then it ceases. Then you realize they are not intrinsic within our nature. They are actually thought process, dependent, originating, condition arising. Then you reflect and contemplate. Yeah, fear also like that. Worry, anxiety also like that. Anger, hatred also like that. All emotion, they come and they go, like the thought process, following nature's law, following paticca samuppada, the law of it. Then you start to see the Dhamma in daily life. You start to see the whole process of cultivation. Then you can link all this within life, within existence, to the teaching. That's why this one is a living Dhamma. It's not thought-based, knowledge-based. It's awareness-based that awaken to it, that develop the clear observation, the clear understanding, the insight. Then there is this faith building up, the joy. Then you realize the true mind more and more, more and more. Then stability of the mind state, which are the spiritual faculty. You start to experience more and more tranquility, stillness of mind, the silent mind. This is what your true mind is all about, your true nature. Then you start to transform and become different. You hardly think. There is only peace within, tranquility, joy. Then everything is like very pristine, very beautiful, very meaningful. Then everything is like Dhamma can give rise to understanding. That's why you will start to understand life is our greatest teacher. Because within life, we learn everything. We learn about ourselves, we learn about others, we learn about relationship, environment, nature, everything. That is what Dhamma is. We develop the ability to understand truth, the Dhamma, the essential Dhamma, or the truth. Then the first noble truth, reality, the second noble truth, the third noble, the fourth noble truth, especially the noble evil, all become different. They shine forth and allow you to have those understanding. Okay, Maya. So this one is beautiful. You created the condition. Very good.
Yeah,
Then after
Roger.
that, what happened? Yeah.
Actually, when those thoughts come up, to say that negative thoughts, who say they will damage my back. Oh, in fact, I was very surprised, amazed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then then everything stopped. My mind like stopped
Yeah.
thinking of all
Become
this
quiet.
already.
Uh,
It become quiet. Then I just okay check in check in. I
yeah.
check in already. I feel like no more trouble already.
Correct, because you start to understand these are all sankara, understand now? Sankara anicca, sankara dukkha, no meaning.
Yeah.
Then you remember what Ingbi told you or not when you from Sabah trip back,
What chasing
you came and asked for forgiveness. 过去心不可得. Now you remember. This is what that thing is all about. Well, these are all your thought process. The mind of the past coming out through memory to prompt you.
Yeah.
So I don't waste time on all those things because these are not reality. That's why once the understanding is there, this Dhamma will prompt you, 过去心不可得. Those who have the understanding and wisdom, when they say it, they say with understanding. That's why it's so beautiful. That's why
Yeah.
in Sabatri, when I heard Amy say that, I said, that is the Dhamma. If you have the ability to grasp it, comprehend it, then you will know the mundane mind is full of this heedless thinking, that type of thought process that cling on to the past, worry about the future, understand? Uh, 过去性 means the mind of the past, all of your so-called experience or views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, and these are the one which become habit and constantly create idea or create thought process for you to want to argue, discuss. Then sometimes it's like you got two minds, one chattering with another. Oh, that's why now with the awareness and the understanding and the training of the Dhamma that you have gone through, it like suddenly wake you up. Yeah, who say all this? It's the thought and the sound. Then like I put on the whiteboard, it's only a thought. How come it has power? And then straight away, because of your training, your faith, and your understanding, your mind become quiet and no more of this weighing here, weighing there, creating discussion or chattering or doubt. No more. It will straight away become like very quiet. And this is the beginning of transformation. Then you will experience this more and more, as you continue to diligently cultivate with the faith. And then you will like the sati cultivation, the mindfulness cultivation, the contemplation, the Dhamma. Then you find it very amazing. Like what Puja, even Ingbi, they all, and Alicia, they all, and so they will go through. Uh, so this part is very beautiful. Yeah, Maya, sadhu.
Yeah. Brother, it's true when you say that the mind troubled by the past experience, because
Mm.
it happened to me, I think twice or three times before when
Mm.
I get back my luggage, the wheel was broken, the handle was broken. So
Yeah,
I guess that haunted me maybe
yeah,
right?
that memory. That's why
Ah, yeah,
accumulation. So when you accumulate those things, these are what I call your scars of memory. Understand? Or not?
yes,
It trigger off fear. Understand? Or not? Because these are like phobia, scars of memory that you have experienced in life, like snatch thief. Those who kena before, if they don't have the Dhamma, they hear the motor sound, they panic already. The intense fear arise already. I remember last time this Sue and Chui told me, oh, yeah, they kena before. So they say, Plateau is so vivid, so clear. It just happened because human mind is like that. We accumulate all this. We call scars of memory. Our fear, our worry, our anxiety, our phobia, then all your insecurity. And these are the negative psychological memory. This one has the evil root of delusion. Otherwise, it won't arise. Then, because of the egoic mind, that personality say, this is dangerous. We should not allow it to happen. Then that's why when you want to check in luggage, your thought will come and prompt you. Remember last time your handle got broken? Your this one got stolen. Then you hear from social media they put thing in your luggage. All this is not a reality. They worry about this because they know there is a tendency for this to happen to them. It's because they don't take care of karma. If you don't take care of karma, there is nothing much you can do about your life. Even no matter how careful you may be, this thing, like the Buddha say, whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions. If the causes and conditions manifest, it will unfold. Then it will happen. That's why the law of karma is such. Nature is such. You cannot blame anybody. That's why the Buddha's advice to avoid all evil. You cannot play a fool with life. If you don't avoid all evil, whatever causes and conditions you have planted, it can actually come to fruition whenever there is condition for it to manifest. Depend on which thought moment and what type of karma you create. So all this is in the teaching. Then when you understand, you take care karma, karma take care of your life. Like now a lot of Kayamita knew that already. They know what to do already. There's a Mandarin saying, I think Alicia always use it. What 自然啊？
顺其自然。
顺其自然，谢谢你，因为顺其自然。So you will understand one. You will accord and flow because you know this is the reality. Nature will take its course. So when you have this understanding, it will prompt you. Why you going to worry about all this? Whatever that is meant to be will be. But when you have the Dhamma, you know how to avoid evil. You, like I always say, you prevent the unnecessary causes and conditions from arising. Means you have the wisdom to mitigate the possibility of it. It's not that you have fear or worry, like last time I shared with you all. My physics teacher saw me lock my car, my new car, that time. Then for 3 to 6 months, no, he wanted to ask me that question. He did not ask me. Until one day he plucked up his courage and he said, I have been wanting to ask you so long. He said, your nature, your karma so good. Why you still lock your car and like you worry people still? Then I look at him, I laugh. Then I say, okay, you listen. I say, it's nothing to do with me. Understand? It based on what you say. I might as well leave the car key inside there with the engine running and no need to lock and just walk away. What will happen to the car? It creates a necessary condition for people to steal and misappropriate that. Then I say when I lock is to make it more difficult so that if there is another car don't have the lock and all those things next to me or what, then they will go and maybe steal that one. Because the condition is that it's easier to steal. Like your house at night, if you don't have lighting in your porch, I can tell you, the criminal activity police also, they have studied the statistics. All those houses that cannot rob one, 70 to 80% is without the porch light on. They prefer that one. Easier. Then they monitor, they survey, and all that. So this is what life is all about. Then when we have the understanding, I say it's our love and compassion for humanity, for living beings. Because they don't know what my nature is. They are after my car for the profit themselves. They think this one is very easy to steal. So got condition, they steal. Then you may think my nature very powerful, very different. Of course it's true, but in the distant past, before I had the understanding, I could have done certain things which I don't know. Then when the condition is such, it's like very, very, they call in Cantonese chair, whole chair, you know. And it will create the causes and conditions for it to happen on. Sometimes it's that person supposed to kena that type of karma, it will happen on. For me, it's nothing. The worst case scenario is I report loss or police, then I claim insurance, understand? But the karmic that is going to afflict that living being is very severe. They don't know who they steal. The car belong to who? They don't know. They don't know my nature. And they don't know what type of being this guy is. So all this is out of understanding, love and compassion. You arise the understanding and you act based on understanding. No more out of fear, insecurity, worry about you. No more. Because this is what life is all about. That's why when you have the Dhamma and you don't have the Dhamma, totally different. The way you see things, the way you understand things, the way you act. Sometimes people cannot understand you. It's like you're very weird one. You are so different. You like don't have all those negativity and selfishness or wanting to take advantage of situation like normal people. Last time I remember I was at my office. This one is real life story. Many times I saw quite a lot of money on the corridor there. I think somebody dropped it or what. Sometimes the first one is I think about 10, 20 ringgit down there. Then got one time was quite a lot, I think almost 40, 50 ringgit. Then there was one time got $50 one. Then I saw somebody pass by, I just told him, I said, there is money on the corridor there. Is it yours? I said, he said, it's not mine. So anyway, I said, I saw it. You decide what you want to do with it. So he was full of joy. Huh? You don't want it? And then they collect it. It's not to say they steal or want, understand? But for me, I don't need all this, understand? Then even if I happen to see, then if let's say I collected it or what, I will donate it. So all this is depend on your understanding, but nowadays I don't. Unless I saw something expensive, I scared that person may come back and cannot find it, somebody else take it. And then I will bring it to the shop or to whatever where I can trust them or reliable, or to my office maybe if anybody asks for it or search for it, you return this to them. So these are the things that you will do. You become very different. Like you become very weird. Then people look at you, oh, I got money, you also don't want, no, no. Where got such a person? Then I went to the shop, I buy things, they pay me the change, which is 10 ringgit extra. No? Then I look at it, then I turn back and walk into the shop and told the shopkeeper, I think you have changed me wrongly. At first he like not happy, He thought I want to scam him or what. He said, cannot be. Sure, correct one, he said. I said, no, no, no. I said, you overpay me. Then I show him, then really $10 more. Then I returned to him. You know what he said? After I walk out, he told his shop colleague, he said, nowadays still got such person in this world. I said, they were very surprised. Most of the time, you pay people extra, they will not come back to you and even let you know. But you become very different. You become not only honest, sincere, then you can do all those things already. It's like you behave differently. So this is what Dhamma is. So the condition behind for me to share this is very good. So that Kayamita know, so that cultivator of the way also they will know. And I believe a lot of Kayamita also have experienced some form of transformation in themselves. And they themselves will understand what I mean when I describe all this. Okay, Manjat, you continue.
Yeah, but yeah, then I then after that I was, I mean, no more a problem already lah. Then I walk about in the airport because I was there quite early. Then I was thinking, then maybe I can have breakfast again. I had breakfast at home. Then now still got a lot of time. Then yeah. So there was a lot of restaurants there, you know. Then I just walk one after the other. Then at the end, there was one quite at the end. So I thought, this one quite nice. I walk in.
Yeah.
I went in. To my surprise, I saw my colleagues seated there eating
Oh,
happily.
that's how it meant to be.
Then I was already happy because I mean, not that I cannot go alone, but at least I got company lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this colleague is my lunch partner every day.
Oh, no wonder. What a coincidence. Yeah.
Oh, so happy. Then I remember what Brother Teo said, like, you know, if I throw away all the negativity,
Then
things will go my way.
everything will go according to your whatever good understanding. They will unfold and you become. No wonder you text me, Brother Teo, I'm going to JB. At the airport also got Dhamma, you told me.
Yeah. So I really find this very interesting. And
Yeah. That's why when you are in the appropriate cultivation, developing the understanding, all this will unfold, and you will have a lot of joy, so much more joy than before. Before that is all problem one, all the mundane thinking mind getting entangled with all the thought process, the fear, the worry, all these are unnecessary. These are what they call sankhara. So sankhara is having the universal characteristics of anicca leading to suffering. So anicca and dukkha, very clear. That's why later on you will understand sankhara anicca, sankhara dukkha. No wonder the Buddha says sabbe sankhara anicca, sabbe sankhara dukkha. Then you start to see very clearly, sankhara means thinking, emotion, thought process. These are all impermanent. When you attach, cling, give meaning, it trigger of suffering. It causes unnecessary suffering, misery, affliction, which can be in subtle form of fear, worry, anxiety, dislike, the subtle dislike. So all this subtle Dhamma, you start to see, the manifestation of the wrong thought, the evil roots, and the delusion behind. Then you understand the word very clearly, why the Buddha say moha is delusion. Really, that time you laugh. Really, living beings that don't have the Dhamma, they understand, is full of delusion, full of selfishness, greediness, fear, worry, anxiety, emotional negativity, insecurity. They hold on to this, they cling on to this, and their life is miserable. To me, that is not life. That is suffering, misery. That's why you transform and become so different. This is what Dhamma is. That's the reason why I say, when you come to understand the true Dhamma, is so different. It's like complete opposite of what living beings do. Living beings, through their delusion, ignorance, cling to a lot of things, hold on to a lot of things, worry about a lot of things. Everything they perceive, they react and they stir. And they trigger off all the wrong thought and all those things. That's why they create a lot of sankhara, sanya activity that leads to unnecessary fear, worry, anxiety, suffering, misery, affliction. And they hardly at peace. They hardly have the moment of quietness, tranquility, stillness, the peacefulness to be with the moment, to be in a state of relaxed awareness, to experience life, to live life. So all this you start to see, and this is what makes the form of mind full of joy, full of what they call understanding. Then they will have faith in the teaching, have faith in the cultivation. Then when you compare this to what people used to teach you in the early day, where they all teach you all the theoretical Dhamma, thought-based Dhamma, knowledge-based Dhamma, you realize that one is not practical one. That one didn't explain to you anything and teach you how to develop the awareness, to be aware, to observe and see. That one is taught telling you, keep on analyzing. Like I told Brother Saul, the analysis and reasoning and justification, the mental chattering and all these unnecessary frivolous speech and heedless thinking, they are so rampant, so persistent, keep on arising in the Puthujjana's mind, the one that doesn't have the Dhamma. So you start to see all this. That's why now you look back, you listen again to what I shared, then you realize why I say all those things. So today's example is very good, the conditioning, so that I can explain what Man Yuen go through. Because Man Yuen is at that stage. That's why she very excited now. And not long, she will become very different and transform. So this will give more faith to Kayamita. Because she recently, last few years, have faith and have more, what they call, develop more understanding that give her joy. That's why her life changed, her relationship, her colleague, her whatever life experience has become so different, especially her relationship with her family members, the parents, the brothers, the whatever relative, and even colleague, everything becomes like so different after the Dhamma starts to unfold. And she experienced it in real life. That's why the joy. Then when she asked for permission to uh, organize the Sabbath, I say, you go ahead. It's for you to learn. And really, it turned out she learned so much thing. That's why life itself is your greatest teacher. When you go on all this spiritual trip, although it's just 10 of us, very simple, but when it unfolds, the Dhamma is really beautiful. Then
Yeah,
luckily, Chin Hao also recorded the audio. You listen to it. They are all very beautiful.
yeah,
Good.
beautiful,
Okay.
brother. Thank you so much. Actually, like it's clearer now. Like I can
Yeah,
connect
much clearer now.
to my everyday life. Last time, yeah, I hear, yeah, correct. But cannot like connect or put
Correct.
into practice.
It's like not connected. But
Not
now, like
connected.
everything is connected.
Yeah, connected. And you know, brother, Teo, like if I look back at the
Mm,
trip or whatever or in my life,
mm.
actually I think it's so beautiful. The
Yes,
trip beautiful. My
yes,
life is so beautiful. But
yes.
I don't feel like that when I'm in that situation at that time because I'm busy thinking. I'm
Yeah.
busy thinking about this lah, thinking,
Worry
mm,
unnecessarily and all those things. Yeah.
brother Teo not feeling well lah.
Yeah.
This one, this one.
Remorseful lah. You
Oh, my
blame
mother.
yourself lah.
Ah,
Uh.
but actually, it is beautiful, really beautiful.
Yeah, because that is the way it unfolds. Like I say, recollect what we have gone through. The trip turned out to be so beautiful. Like the whole thing, it it manifests so beautifully and so differently. Like initially, the Tao Yu first day told us, oh, every day is like that, rain and then I said, let things be. Why you worry? Because I remember Jupo, the next thing she says, Ayo, how I tomorrow also rain. I say, forget about it. That's why I said no negativity, just let things be. Then everything will turn the way it's supposed to be. Have faith in your cultivation, have faith in your understanding. Take care of karma. Then Dhamma will unfold. Then it turned out to be so beautiful. The weather was so kind, and every day from that day onward was so beautiful, like meant to be. Then we get to participate in so much wholesomeness, Dhamma sharing and all those things, the activity, everything. So all this is what life is all about. Then we get to, of course, eat some of the good food in Sabha too. Uh, Then we should thank some of these people who help us to like finalize the restaurant we go to and help us to do the order, especially Raymond, Alicia, they all. So at that time, I think it was really beautiful. Then a lot of things, they will all fall into place, like you experience and the Kayamita also experienced. Then even towards the end also, I think the guide and the driver, they like us. They were very surprised at the thing we do for them. Uh, so this is, you continue, Manyan, yeah.
When you talk about the guy, I remember now, we were at the airport quite some time, you know.
Yeah, he was with
Before
us.
he
All the way.
was still there. He was still there. And then I think I was at the counter checking whether I can change flight. And that took a while, you know.
Yes,
After
yes.
I settled that one, I took my suitcase with Ching Hao to weigh, you know. After I weighed, suddenly he appeared before me, you know.
Yeah,
He was
he very observant. That what is his name already?
Duty.
Rudy.
Duty lah, the guide, right?
Yeah, the guy. What is his name?
Duty. D-U-T-Y.
Duty. Yeah, Duty. Correct. Duty. I forgot his name. Yeah.
He come to me and shake my hand, you know. He said,
Yeah.
"Hey, thank you, Mun Yuen."
He is very grateful. You know what
Grateful.
happened or not? You know what happened or
What
not?
happened?
That
The
last
tips,
day, the driver overslept. You remember?
Yeah.
Then he has to use his car to take us around, then ask the driver to slowly meet us there. So what happened is they will perceive it like, you're so sweet. He tried everything to keep us a company, make us happy. And all that. Then the last day, this thing happened. That's why when he came and relate to us, he also says, actually the driver overslept. And all that. Then we said, no problem, don't worry. And then he volunteered to take, the cat, no problem. Then after that, we still decide to pay them the what they call we call it tips or what our voluntary donation. They were very surprised because they thought she'll gone already with this type of thing happening. But I told him, don't worry. I said this is normal. We were too tired. I said the driver is too tired. The whole day we were. Luckily we decided to cut short the journey. You remember? Didn't see the cliff and all those things. We saved 2 hours, and at the hotel we had some good time. I still managed to have supper down there. I call Yun Chan, Raymond, and Alicia. So we were down there. So it was really beautiful. I think Ingbi was also down there, if I'm not wrong. I forgot already. So it was really like meant to be. Then I saw this Judy and the driver. The driver say after he dropped us at the airport, he want to leave already. But we decide to actually pay them the thing. That's why I asked you to bring out the envelope. Then when they saw us offering them the tip, they were so touched. So that's why after that, Judy follow us in and make sure everybody was settled down, take care of. Then only he left, and he left with joy, with good impression and happiness. Most important is happiness. If we can afford, we can bring about causes and conditions for people to have joy. Why not? Because they are on this type of career, this type of job, not easy. Accompany us for 6 days, non-stop. Then sometimes they have to sleep, like what he say, one of the night, sleep indoors with the Kundasan wind and all those things. I think their accommodation was not as good as ours already, not so good, but that was worse. But somehow they actually endure too. So all this understanding can help us developing the kindness, the uh, good thought to be of help to people, to be of ability to have blessing for others. That's why I told Raymond, we pay, we collect the money. Then I think Raymond and me, we pay more. Then I said for you all, maybe minimum 20 ringgit each. We are 10 of us only, 20 ringgit is only about $200, one person $100, not much. But because
140.
I chip in with Raymond 50-50, that's why each person get 140, which is good. So at least they feel happy, joyful, because they thought no more already on, they mess up until like that. But we still consider it. We still have that kind thought, and we still thank them because basically these two guys are good people, and they also have affinity taking care of us, and they are quite sincere in that sense. They talk to us in a very nice manner. Then at the restaurant, you remember, they recommended their Western food. That was very good food that night. I love the food. All the food was so nice. What Julie's what? Julie's kitchen or what?
August Kitchen.
August kitchen. Yes. That one was very good. I love it. All the food, and he recommended the tom yum soup. Wow, really so authentic. Oh, really like in Thailand.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then when we were doing the canopy walk, he did the video for us.
yeah. He helped you all to take photo or those things.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't realize it was so good. Then when I came back, wow, very nice.
yeah, with all the beautiful photo. That's why it meant to be. And it's worth that trip for you all because you are still young can walk. For us, Raymond, me, Yun Chan, we prefer to stay back and now walking already.
Very senior
my
also.
my flu just about to start, so I need to rest. I need to recuperate. So don't worry because I have been there before. I have seen all those area before, so no problem, no deal. Even for me, when I was with the Yun Chan, they go and dip their feet and do. I stay at the rest area, the veranda there with my wife, and we had nice time. The breeze and all those things. Yeah, the nature, the vibration, everything, beautiful. Uh, very good, Sadhu. Ayan.
Thank you, Radio.
Yeah.
I think that's my sharing lah for
Good. Sadhu. Let us rejoice. Sadhu.
Good afternoon, Brother Mrs. Stew, and all Nita. To Sister Mun Yuen for the incredible sharing.
Yeah, Sadhu.
其实Brother 我前2天跟 PG 讲起我们的 trip。Actually 我也是很多的 joy， 因为
Sadhu.
真的是很多的 fun 那些。
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yeah.
它不只是一个简单的 trip， 它在当下里面还有很多学习的空间。
对。
每一件事我们 encounter 或者 like 在那个 beach 我们
对。
办法怎样去解决
我也
想到说我可以直接跟 Dudy 讲 OK, we chartered a boat and then I want to go back. I just don't want
we even willing to pay for it.
Yeah, so I say okay, let's just do it. Then 他就 come back and you know, and then 很多的 in between 的东西，都很多。当我跟 PG 讲的时候，我真的是很多 fun， 因为我是 laughing all the way.
Yeah. A lot of joy, a lot of fun.
Yes, coming back to 种那个 buah darab, actually 他们叫我拿回来的时候，我就在想，OK， 我 just try 罢了嘛，因为我也不是成功。但是当下我在种的时候，我真的很多 understanding， 因为它不只是代表着一个小小的一个种，
对，
就是那个好像就是you know，这个是好像一个方便法给我去。
对。
understand 这个所谓的种这个菩提心，
菩提心哈，
对，种这个菩提心，就是一个种子，把它种在我们的心里面，在我们 nature 里
deep
面。
into our nature. The
Yes，
Bodhi
然后我们就去怎样的去nurture it，就是把
nurture it. 对
experience go through 这样。Then I was full of joy because 他会 relate 给我，去 relate 给就是佛陀的方便法。
对。
佛陀有这么多的48000法门，
对。
度众生。然后我现在好像 wake up， 原来这个是方便法。在我在学习的过程里面，我得到的学到的就是说，当你在种东西也好，做事情也好，你不可能有一个分别心，因为
Very good。
因为就算那个种子，因为种子里面有些是发芽比较快啊，发芽比较慢啊，
有些是不能够发的。
就是每一粒都能够发，但是有些快，有些慢。然后你会有一个分别心，那个好像不大好的，你要不要丢掉它？
对。
就是好像说你就是面对这个所谓的众生的时候，你不能够有这种分别心，或者或者物啊，还所以什么东西都好，你不可以有这个分别心。然后我就I was like， 原来这么多的法在里面。
对，
所以
That's why you mentioned the word 顺什么自然啊？
顺其自然。
That was the only thought you had. Then you just let things be. Then it grow, it germinate. Then you would share it with the Kayamita, the Sabha Group website. Then a lot of them rejoice. Then Yuen Chan, of course, she go and add in like normal, but we had to wait so long. But the causes and conditions are more important than how long you have to wait. It's just like just now you mentioned. If you plant the seed of Bodhi, that is 种善因哦，结善果. Wait how long also worth it, understand or not? Not to say like this what they call turap, the seed. Maybe 6 years, 5 years, or 10 years, I don't know. But it's relatively not that long. Whereas the Bodhi seed, when you plant that Bodhi mind deep into our nature, that one, you can nurture it and stabilize it. It will grow into something so beautiful. Ultimately, transform your whole understanding of life, your nature. That's like the 5 stages of Bodhi. Start with the first thought of planting the seed of Bodhi. That's like the first stage of Bodhi mind development. With faith, with sincerity and understanding, we develop the vow, invoke the power of merits for causes and conditions to plant that seed of Bodhi so that it can nurture deep into our nature. Then in future, it can bring forth the causes and conditions for us to develop the Bodhi mind beautifully so that the cultivation of the Bodhisattva way can take off and all Dhamma can arise from there. So understanding causes and conditions is very beautiful, like what you experience, Alicia. So even planting a turap seed, you can see the Dhamma everywhere. So turap seed can be just an ordinary seed, but because we tasted the fruit is nice and it's only available in Sabah, so you decide to bring it back. It's just like Dhamma. Before you know the Dhamma, you will not appreciate what Dhamma is. You will not plant the seed of Bodhi because nobody taught us. Nobody taught you, and you haven't developed the understanding. But now, with the causes and conditions, you have developed the understanding, like what we went through in Sabah. You all tasted it, almost every one of you all. And it was so sweet, so beautiful, that seed. So you decide to collect the seed and bring it back. I saw quite a lot. Then when you bring it back, there was a lot of joy. So these are the understanding where you taste it, you have to understand. You know, these are beautiful fruits also, not available in West Malaysia, our side here. So you bring it back and try your luck to plant it and see whether successful or not. Where the weather there is different, Sabah. Huh? So maybe it's possible. I also believe so. So let it happen. Then if it can happen in that manner, so in a similar way, the seed of Bohi, like you contemplated, is so beautiful. You can plant the seed of Bohi, or like a monk in Taiwan. He said the purpose of his way place is to allow visitor to come and visit. He said he will know you will become very popular, which really happened when we were in Taiwan, I think 2014. So he said his mission is very simple. Every year millions can visit that place. He only need one or two good ones. Plant the seed of Bohi and go all the way to cultivate the Bodhisattva way and receive the prediction to be Sammasambuddha. And that alone, that being's condition and parami, is more than worthwhile all the effort, the cost, the money to actually build that temple. That's why he was very beautiful. The abbot was that time 90 years old, almost 100 years old. And his understanding was so beautiful. We were at that temple and they opened up the top floor, the last few floors for us to visit. It was a very, what we call, auspicious and omniscient type of experience when we were there. And it's so beautiful. And that whole area, the energy, the nature's energy, so beautiful, fully charged. So when you go to all this type of way place, when you have that affinity and understanding, you become different. So beautiful, Sadhu, Alicia. 谢谢啊。
可能 Brother Teo，因为因为最近我发觉到，好像很多东西都是每一样东西都是法，每一样东西都
对，你会经过那一段的修行的 cultivation 的 experience. Then, like Dhamma is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. Everything you experience in life is Dhamma. Then your understanding broaden and becomes so different. Then you see truth in everything, the pristine beauty and nature within all phenomena, within all existence, within the existential world, the phenomenal world. 它越来越 amazing, 越好妙 and all those things. And the joy, like you go through, you have a lot of joy. 法喜, you use the word 法喜心. Good, Sadhu.
是的 Brother Teo，因为我记得 Brother Teo 有 mention 过我们的心态。
对，
我们的心态是非常，因为就冲着这个心态，它是 condition 我们那个后来的那个法是怎样 manifest 全部就
对 How you perceive a life situation 那个心态 very important. You perceive it negativity 你就完蛋了。Then everything become like problem. Not what you want. Then 就很难了。So 心态很重要。The way you perceive a situation, if you have wisdom to accept the reality, 好像佛讲的，一切有为法嘛。So it has to go the way of nature, condition like that, things will be like that. Then 那个 understanding will actually polish up your wisdom and develop more and more understanding. Then it will start to unfold and expand or extend to all things, everything that you come to experience in life, that you interact and encounter in life. That's why 那是 the word that you use, sing Thai, is very important. What is the equivalent English word? What is sing Thai? How you perceive a thing, means your view of that thing, or your sing Thai is very good. The Mandarin word is very good. Hello, Paul. State of mind also correct. Neither sing Thai. So the state of mind must be wholesome with wisdom and understanding. Yeah, state of mind, correct. That's why your state of mind, the way you perceive things, the way you perceive a situation, 你的心态很重要。Because that is the basis of life living. When you don't have a good state of mind, developed through wholesomeness, wisdom, understanding, your life become miserable. That's why I say whatever happens, don't panic, don't react, don't develop negativity of mind state. So now a lot of Kaya Metta know how to use that. Then like Man Yuan also experience it. So when you are able to keep your Sing Thai on the appropriate setting, your life become beautiful. Where you don't react anymore, you don't stir, you don't perceive it in negativity. Then there is no what they call unhappy states that carries the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. So this is what Dhamma is all about. When you plant the seed of wholesomeness, you reap the fruit of wholesomeness. That's why causes and effect, moral causation, 种因结果，种善因结善果，种恶因结恶果。The saying can be very simple, but to develop the clear understanding, the meaning is very deep. What is san yin? What is yin? That's why you must understand what constitutes evil, what constitutes wholesomeness. The absence of evil is good, like what we went through. So all this understanding keep on surfacing. Then there is no more delusion. 很好 Alicia 沙丢还有2 minutes 你 summarize
through 这个所谓的cultivation，以前的我是做什么事情都没有 confident 的，
对，
是一个很 negative 的 mindset。
对。
所以从我学习佛法到现在，我发觉到它的就是它的 transformation 让我有时候在说某一件事情的时候，我是很 firm 的很 confident 的去
沙丢 yeah
我就觉得这个是一个很大的收获了，所以
收获哈
很
big
不一样。
transformation
对，就是学习佛法，让我学习到很多很多。就比方说，我种那个所谓的种树啦，就是种，因为你要天地人和全部要和，
对，沙丢
因为假如你种到一半 ，something happen， 它也是会 ，you know， 可是一样，就是说我们用什么心态的去培养这个我们的，
沙丢
其实在这个过程里面，其实是 train 我们的心罢了，而不是说。
That is what Dhamma is all about. Train our mind.
对，不是
Develop
所谓
the wisdom, the understanding, the wholesomeness.
对，很感恩 Brad，
很感恩呀。
所以我很感恩在 Brad 所学习到的，真的是每天放在生活里面运用，然后
对
证悟，然后去慢慢的学习，所以感恩 Brad， 也感恩所有的凯阿米达陪我一起去 cultivate，and then 所有的分享，所以我就 end 我的 sharing 在这里哈。
Okay, very good. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Oh, very good. Even Manyan also add in. Yes, true, very true. Then who give the thumbs up? Oh, Pocheng, sadhu, Pocheng.
Radio got still 1 minute lah.
Can, Manyan, come in.
Because what Alicia said just now, it remind me of something else that happened. Because she said she have more confidence now, you know.
Yeah. Same for you.
I tell you, brother, that day I went to JB because there was a briefing lah. So the six of us, the colleague who went out was briefing the industry. So when it comes to my part, I was briefing that part. And then one of them, the industry, the player, had put his hand up, and then he questioned, what you just say, but then he put on, he asked a lot of questions,
Oh,
He was
Sadhu,
really
that is a good test for you. Yeah.
I think when I think back, I think I handled it quite well because
Yeah,
previously
you know how to deliver with confidence now. In the
Yeah.
past, you were panic already.
panic because don't know how to answer.
Yeah. So now that confidence is there, very true. That's why Alicia brought out a very important point. When you have the Dhamma, you become very confident. You don't even have to worry about what people say or what they predict. This is not auspicious, so forget about it. Auspicious or not auspicious depend on the understanding. When you understand, everything is auspicious. When you don't understand, auspicious, they also become unauspicious.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. Sadhu.
Rather than it's not that I know how to answer him, I still don't know how to answer him. But
But
I
you
wasn't
have the
scared at all.
confidence.
Yeah, I was saying that you give us a very good feedback, and we will consider your comments when we look into the matter.
That is right speech, good speech, and he will feel good too.
Yeah, I feel very good.
Yeah, definitely. That he will remember you. Oh, that Bank Negara officer, very good. She don't just tell me or give me whatever answer. At least he acknowledged that it's a good question, and we will take that into consideration so that we can look at it in the future. So all these are skillful speeches that can bring about harmony, understanding, and joy. So remember, whatever you do that can bring about joy, where there is sincerity, kindness, compassion, and love, that is conducive for life, conducive for Dhamma to actually pervade and develop wholesomeness. The content of consciousness, the totality of consciousness will slowly become purified and become more and more beautiful. Very good. Sadhu.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let us end. Okay. So now we will do the sharing of merits. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumoditwa chirang rakantu lokasasana itta vata chamehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo devo asatu kalena sasu sampati hetu cha fito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamina mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we will end the whole Zoom session. Sadhu.